Thursday afternoon, the Dalton Convention Center ballroom held a presentation hosted by the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, led by their president and CEO, Chris Clark. During the event, President Clark discussed how the Georgia Chamber is working to support communities across Northwest Georgia as part of their new Georgia Economy Tour.
We're really doing two things. One, we're sharing data and insights primarily about freight and logistics and the needs to how we move goods and products around Georgia and the future workforce and all the issues that we're dealing with, labor shortages and actually solutions of what that looks like. Then the second thing that we're doing is actually soliciting input from business leaders and local elected leaders in all of these communities. So we do live surveys to tell us what do we need to focus on so that Georgia can be prosperous for the next 25 years. And so we're talking about everything from health care to education in those discussions. At every local stop, we share that data back with our local chamber partners, and then we aggregate all of this data back together at the end of the year. We share it with our policy committees, we'll share it with the governor, we'll share it with business leaders, elected leaders, and back with all of our chambers. And as we redesign our strategy for the next 5 years, we'll share that with local communities so that they can adjust as they need. And many times we're all dealing with the same issues. Sometimes you might have a little more of an important issue in one community, but most of what we're doing, infrastructure, workforce competitiveness, it matters at the local level, the regional level, state level, at the national level. One of our focuses is how successful we are representing small businesses and manufacturers during the legislative session at the Capitol. This year, Republicans and Democrats alike voted almost 90% with our scorecard on the issues we cared about. We provide health insurance for Georgians, and so we want to make sure we're providing affordable health care for them. But a lot of it is the engagement. How are businesses talking to each other, building the chamber family? It's nice when we're named the best place to do business for 10 years in a row. But we look into the rearview mirror and realize every other state is coming for us. They're making policy changes, they're getting more aggressive, and so we have to continue to push the limits, push the bar, raise the bar to continue to do that.
One pressing issue that President Clark emphasized was the shortage of housing options for the upcoming generation of Millennial and Gen Z workers.
We can't continue to expect the next generation to work for us and be happy and healthy if they can't afford a house. And we've moved over, if we go back 25 years ago, the average house in Georgia was $110,000. Today, the average house in Georgia is $363,000. And you find me a 22 to 30-year-old who could afford that back then or today, and it's just not there. And so we have to give them smaller properties, smaller homes. We have to improve home ownership for Georgians. And a lot of that comes back to what are local government officials willing to do. We just got to get every community in Georgia to do something about it.
President Clark also shared career advice for Millennial and Gen Z workers in Northwest Georgia.
So first of all, I think you got to make sure you've got the right work ethic. You got to understand that we're all created by God to do good deeds, and you can do good deeds no matter where you work, wherever you're put, wherever you're placed. And so being motivated, having those life skills of showing up on time, vitally important. Next, I'd say it's the ability to understand technology, but to communicate and work with your peers, problem solve, innovate, create your own companies. That's what's going to make you stand out. That's going to AI-proof your career, because AI is coming for your job. And you need to make sure that you've got the skills that you can shift your focus as you move forward, but also you're prepared for whatever might come. And so I'd say those are the primary. And then the other thing I would mention is don't get so locked in on a 4-year degree or a 6-year degree. Remember that in about 15 years, the skilled professional trades will pay higher than white-skilled and white-collar jobs that are out there. And so realize there's value in the skilled labors of construction and manufacturing. It's huge skills and huge opportunities.
Clark also emphasized the importance of guiding the next generation towards promising career pathways.
Be engaged. To be engaged with your local chambers, to be engaged with your businesses. As parents, listen to what the jobs of the region are and tell your kids where the opportunities are. Go into the classroom, invest in those kids so that they know what opportunities exist here for them. You guys have a rich, diverse economy up here. You're the buckle of the battery belt for all the new technologies that are coming. A lot of shared skills within those sectors. Make sure students know what those opportunities are.
Reporting for WRGA News, I'm Ethan Garrett.